The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows, adapted from Sakaku Hishikawa's light novel and animated by Macaria, is a fantasy anime streaming on Crunchyroll since April 3, 2025. Set in the Kingdom of Herzith, it follows Zenas, a self-taught healer from the slums who, after being ousted from an adventuring party, opens an underground clinic, gaining renown among demi-human gangs. Episode 6, The End of Adventure, aired on May 8, 2025 and focuses on Zenas uniting gang leaders to battle a rogue golem while confronting his former party leader, Aston. I'm energized by the episode's action-packed stakes and Zenas' quiet heroism, but its rushed climax and harem-heavy undertones spark concerns about narrative focus, demanding a critical exploration. Episode 5 depicted Aston, leader of the Golden Phoenix Party, failing to recruit Zenas back after their teams collapse without his healing, while Carmilla introduced golem creation and a golem appeared in the slums. Episode 6 escalates as Zenas, alongside demi-human leaders Zofia, Linga, and Loie, confronts the golem threatening their district. Carmilla provides strategic insight before retreating, and Zenas' healing prowess stabilizes the fight. Aston's desperate plea for Zenas' return culminates in a heated exchange, resolved by Zenas' firm rejection. The golem is defeated, strengthening gang unity, and a royal messenger's arrival hints at palace intrigue. This shift from personal grudges to collective action advances Zenas' slum legacy. Episode 6 propels the slum arcade forward by showcasing Zenas' leadership marked by his rallying cry, "We protect our home," as he coordinates the gang leaders against the golem, a pivotal moment I found thrilling. Aston's rejection and the royal messenger's arrival are turning points, resolving the Golden Phoenix conflict while raising questions about Zenas' growing fame and potential palace scrutiny, aligning with the light novel's rising stakes. The episode fulfills its role by blending action with Zenas' slum influence, setting up a broader arc. However, the pacing feels rushed, cramming the golem battle and Aston's confrontation into a frenetic climax, a flaw I noticed in abrupt resolutions. I think the gang unity is a strong narrative step, but I didn't like the royalties' vagueness, which feels like a rushed plot hook. Zenas, Zofia, Linga, Loie, Carmilla, and Aston are central. Zenas' resolute, "I'm done with you, Aston," unveils a steely conviction consistent with his episode 1 resilience, marking growth as he embraces his slum role, a facet I found inspiring. Zofia's fierce, "We fight together," and Linga's tactical quips reveal loyalty and cunning, building on their episode 4 camaraderie, though Loie's quieter role feels underdeveloped, a weakness I noted. Carmilla's dry, "I'll have tea ready," adds playful detachment, enriching her ghostly charm, a nuance I appreciated. Aston's desperate, "We need you," exposes his regret, aligning with his episode 5 arrogance, but his swift exit limits depth. Their actions fit prior portrayals, but the harem dynamics overshadow individual arcs. I really appreciate Zenas' firmness, but I wish Loie had more focus as her role feels like set dressing. The episode explores redemption, community, and unrecognized strength. Zenas' leadership against the golem, healing allies mid-battle, underscores community as a source of power, a theme conveyed through the gang's unity, resonating with the series' underdog ethos. Redemption emerges as Aston seeks forgiveness, contrasted by Zenas' refusal, highlighting self-worth over external validation, a motif I found poignant. Unrecognized strength shines in Zenas' oblivious mastery, though harem banter risks diluting this, a flaw I noticed in excessive flirtations. I'm moved by the community theme, but I personally don't understand why the harem elements dominate, which could have been dialed back to emphasize Zenas' healing drive. The episode enriches Herzith's slum dynamics by detailing gang territories and golem creation, with Carmilla's explanation of arcane constructs fueled by chaos expanding on episode 5's magical lore, a detail I found intriguing. The royal messenger hints at a broader political hierarchy, building on the series' aristocracy themes, a concept I anticipate will deepen. However, I didn't like how the golem's origin was vague, leaving its threat abstract, a flaw that muddies the world's stakes. The slums feel vividly gritty, but clearer magical rules would anchor the action. The dialogue is functional but leans on cliches, with Zenas' "We won't lose our home" carrying earnest weight, and Zofia's "Let's tear it down" fueling action. Moments I found rousing. Aston's "You're nothing without us" feels generic, undermining his desperation, a flaw I noticed in confrontations. The writing excels in the battle's urgency but falters in harem banter, like Linga's teasing Zenas, "My hero," which feels like light novel padding, a weakness I found distracting. I think the battle lines drive the plot, but I didn't like the trope-heavy flirtations which sap the narrative's grit. Macaria's animation is serviceable, with the golem battle, Zenas' healing glow clashing with stone fists, rendered with decent fluidity. A sequence I found engaging, though not as polished as top-tier studios. Director Joe Yashizaki crafts a tense mood, with a low-angle shot of the golem looming over the slum slums amplifying dread, a choice I found striking. A rapid cut to Zenith's punch against Aston enhances the climax, but lingering harem shots disrupt flow, a flaw I felt broke the action's rhythm. The end of adventure evokes excitement, satisfaction, and mild frustration. The golem battle, with Zenith's healing under pressure, is exhilarating, a moment I found unforgettable, while Aston's rejection stirs catharsis, tying to Zenith's redemption arc. The harem banter and rushed climax temper engagement, a flaw I felt keenly. The episode prompts reflection on community as strength, aligning with the series' underdog spirit, and its action-packed resolution lingers. I also anticipate the royal intrigue will test Zenith's independence. The battle thrills, but the tropes nag. The episode's core philosophical lesson is that true strength lies in community and self-acceptance. Zenith's unity with the gangs and rejection of Aston's plea suggest that collective support and personal resolve outweigh external validation, a lesson embodied in the slums stand. This insight invites viewers to consider how shared purpose forges resilience, a profound reflection for navigating adversity. Episode 6 of The Brilliant Healer's New Life in the Shadows is a spirited, action-driven chapter that excels in Zenith's leadership, Sakata's performance, and the community theme, weaving a fantasy tale with gritty stakes. Its strengths lie in the golem battle's energy, Zenith's resolve, and the slum's vividness, bolstered by Macaria's competent craft. However, rushed pacing, harem cliches, and vague royal hints hinder depth, flaws I found limiting. I didn't like the fan service focus, and I think tighter writing could balance action with character nuance. The episode achieves its goal of advancing Zenith's slum legacy and resolving Aston's arc, but stumbles with trope-heavy execution, making it a rousing, imperfect milestone. I'm hopeful for the series, expecting the royal intrigue and Zenith's healing drive to elevate its fantasy and redemption stakes. For iSky and underdog fans, this is a gritty, uneven ride.